At some point, this just got confusing.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag in all its forms. What, Cookie?
Thanks, guys, for clicking on the video. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop New York, Season 7, Episode 7. Like I said, some of this just actually got a little confusing. But you know what? Before we even go into this, I'm going to ask a favor of you guys. For you all who know me, you know that I absolutely love Married to Medicine, the show Married to Medicine. And they actually have moved that show from Sunday night to Friday night, which is a detriment, in my opinion. So I've actually started a petition to try to get Bravo TV to actually move that back. I am going to leave the link for the petition down in the bottom. If you would sign the petition, I would appreciate it. We need to get those ladies back on the Sunday lineup where they belong. All right, thank you so much. Now let's talk about Love and Hip Hop New York. Okay, so let's start off with Drewski and Bianca. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of her just allowing him to make an ass out of her. Um, she ends up going down to the radio station and she rolls up on him and she's telling him all about, you need to get your bitch in order. She's rolling up on me, this, that, thing, and the other. I'm gonna kick her ass if she keeps it up, this, that, thing, and the other. She really had her shit together to tell his ass off. But when it was all said and done, it didn't go down like that because he disrespected her yet again and basically let her know your business and my business is done. I'm done with you. You don't respect me. You don't respect my girlfriend. And I've gotten everything that I want from you. And I'm done with you. And then she had the nerve to actually sit in there and act like she was getting ready to drop a tear. And I'm like, well, you know what? I can't even say I feel sorry for you because you put yourself out there. All season, you've been putting yourself out there for this weirdo. Like, he's not, I just don't get it. I mean, he wasn't giving you anything, he doesn't look like anything. There's nothing, I mean, there was nothing about him that said, I sacrifice my feelings and my integrity. Nothing at all. So I can't even say I feel sorry for you. You played the fool and you were treated as such. Then he ended up actually going back, making up with Sky and asking her to move in with him, and now she's making him wait. And her hair was a fucking mess. Did you see her hair? I don't know what child. She got one of them old fashioned blowouts, baby. I said, girl, you need a real flat iron. A real flat iron, because that hair went a bit more straight. It was horrible. Other than that, it's a beautiful girl. Makeup was nice. Hair was just fucked up. But anyway, so that's that. Real sick of Drewski. Sick of Sky. Sick of Bianca. Bianca ended up going for Matt. She um, even tried to tell him, well, just make sure you keep my records in rotation. He told her, please, don't tell me what to do. I said, oh, God. So he's really done with her. She ends up calling Cardi B. Cardi B was taking a bath in some little tub, honey. I said, girl, whatever. She said she had went to a hotel and rented a room, and she was just going to relax Now, Cardi, I know you making enough money to get you like a pretty tub, get the heart shaped tub, honey, with the bubbles, not just the basic fucking $49.99 a night room with the bad grout, honey. Like, really? Anyway, but she was telling Cardi. Cardi said, I'm just going to mind my business, but I know I'm going to get me some popcorn because it's going to be a schmovie. I said, oh, God, she's such a mess. But yeah, Bianca was telling her, how she was all pissed off, and then she was going to go and talk to, Little Miss Muffet, Mariah Lynn. So she ended up doing that later on. She, we'll get to that. Just hold on for that. We'll get to that. Anyway, so, all right. Speaking of Mariah Lynn, Cisco took his big head ass. He went and talked to Mariah, apologized about all of the stuff from last year to her, and basically was trying to talk her into coming over with him as opposed to working with Self. And then he went and talked to Rich, and Rich kind of told him, like, that's kind of cold because Mariah is actually doing some business with Self, so we all part of the Creep Squad. That's kind of foul. Oh, no, 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 no. He don't think that. But see, this is what we know of Cisco. As long as I've been seeing him on the show, when it comes to money and pussy, he ain't loyal. He will walk over any of you all. And I don't know why y'all act like y'all don't understand that. I see it. So he's just not trustworthy at all. Rich ended up going and telling Self. Self was like, okay, cool, no problem. First thing Self did, Self was like a little vindictive bitch. First thing he did, Cisco was supposed to be doing a interview at the radio station. Self locked everything up so he couldn't get in. So it didn't happen. I said, child, that's some shit out of there. Mm-hmm. So he did that to him, and that was that. Then Cisco takes his ass to see Mariah during her little rehearsal. Child, she was looking a mess. A mess. You hear me? I don't know who told her these outfits was going to be, girl, these outfits is going to be it. She looked terrible in that outfit. Terrible. It just looked like a like an orange wood stick with a rubber band wrapped around it. She just looked a mess. And because she ain't got no body. So all this naked, like, girl, why? I just don't get it. And then every time she performs, she got these blue wigs, and the part on the wig is this big. Right up in the middle of her. It looks a mess. But in her confessional, she looks nice. That's the only time I've ever seen her where she looks nice. Is in her confessional. And she need to keep that wig on at all times. All that other shit, horrible. But anyway, Cisco's sitting there talking to her, and he's so creepy, and he's staring all at her, and she's like, well, yeah, we're gonna keep it professional. He's like, yeah, for now, yeah. Steady when he's talking, he's creepy. He's creepy and he's slimy, and I never liked him, and I just think he's horrible. He's not trustworthy at all. But anyway, moving on. Mendices. Okay, so we still got this whole situation going on with Yandy. Remember, Yandy had locked out Erica, took and changed the locks and all that, and she ran up on Yandy and the sister-in-law, and they went back and forth, and that's why I said, this shit is just getting confusing. She's going on and on and on. And Yandy's like, I got power of attorney. Yes, we understand that. Yes, if you have power of attorney, she can act just as if she is Mendices. Period. It's real cut and dry. And Erica's just trying to make it be something else. But then it all comes down. Her name's on the lease because they put her name on the lease. And then she doesn't even stay in the apartment. So what is all the arguing and fighting about? And just go on. What I've gathered, Erica actually wants Mendices. That's what her problem is. She wants Mendices. And he don't want her. He had this whole conversation with her. And I mean, girl, he don't want you. He does not want you. And basically told you, stop disrespecting Yandy, damn it. So, and she said he's still trying to build her case, and he just kept telling her this disrespect. You got to stop disrespect. I was like, child, I don't get it. There's no way, and no man would be telling me about another woman and what to do with her and how to handle her. And oh no, no God. But he basically was letting her know, Yandy is that bitch. You are going to stop disrespecting her. Whatever decisions she makes or the decisions that are going to be made, and that is it, and shut the fuck up. That's basically what I got out of that conversation. And then later on, she actually got together with Kimbella and Juju and let them know him and her ain't even fucking married. And I understood that too. When she said, once she signed and they actually would have married, that she might have to pay his restitution. I understand that, and I wouldn't have signed that motherfucker either. We would have been married, but I would have went through with that wedding and all that bullshit. I wouldn't have did that. But I definitely would not have married him. There's no way. No way. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so let's go to Mariah's performance. So we are at the performance. Big Hit Cisco shows up. They perform. Bianca shows up. Bianca has words back and forth with Mariah. Mariah acts just like she don't understand why Bianca's mad at her. And she's going on with this, I got loyalty to this. The best thing that Mariah could have done with this situation is to stay out of it. She should have just stayed out of it. But at any rate, some girl, there was a waitress, came by. She had a tray, and there was like several drinks on it. Bianca smacked the motherfucking drinks over there on Mariah. Mariah leaped up. I said, woo. I said, how do you look at her, Addie? I said, oh my God, Addie. She leaped up over there on Bianca. I said, bitch, she Gary, get you, bitch. How they went to breaking them up and carrying on. And Bianca's like, fuck you, bitch. And was leaving. But honey, I think if there would have been nobody there, girl, she was going to get you, Miss Bianca. She leaped up out of there. I said, oh my. Anyway, so that was a whole big old mess. And then right after that, then here comes Self. Self comes in. Him and Cisco start having a conversation. Mariah's up in the midst of that conversation. And she basically ended up telling him, I never told you that I was definitely going to sign with you. I was negotiating with the both to see what my best option is. And Self was like, okay, so I ain't mad at her no more, because he thought she was trying to dog him. And she's like, I can't just like write him off. He's the first one that broke my song out to the world, this, that, and the other. And Cisco ended up flipping on her and telling her, yeah, well, you just go ahead on with him and don't make no money, and then I'll talk to you when it's all over with. You ain't made no money, and you been treated like a slave. I said, oh my, going on and on. Then Self told him, and this would kill me. This is what really made him mad, honey. Told him, you're no longer a part of the Creep Squad. And honey, they had to hold him back because you're no longer. I started the Creep Squad. Okay. He said, I'm the new leader. He was trying to get himself, and Mariah's like, you're not going to put your hands on him. You're not going to put your hands on him. I said, oh, Jesus. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I didn't understand why that made him so upset, honey. Now next week, he gonna have a reason to be upset when Peter get his ass. But anyway, we'll talk about that then. All right, that's basically it. That's all that really went on. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.